can you turn off your video for now? You're mute as well. There are 3 buttons at the bottom, right next to the hang up button. When you scroll over my face, just turn up. There you go. Perfect.
Hi, everyone. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We are going to get started here. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Andy Saldana. I am the Executive Director of New York Tech Alliance. New York Tech Alliance is a nonprofit organization that works to drive access, equity, and diversity here in the New York tech ecosystem. Bear with us for just a second. I just want to make sure that everything is working and that people are able to watch the event. Perfect. I see things are playing. If you have somebody you know that wants to watch the event, you can always send them to our website, nytech.org. It's embedded on our website, or share that link that you joined with as well. We're going to go ahead and get started, though. I see the stream is working, and I will disseminate that link to as many people as possible after I get through with my intro. So again, welcome to the September New York Tech Meetup. We have a very special meetup in store for you today. It's an assistive tech for hearing disability inclusion and allyship in celebration of Deaf Awareness Month. I'm going to be introducing a very special woman, Mariella Paulino, who helped us put this together. She's an accessibility advocate and a wonderful, wonderful human being. It's been such a great honor to get to work with her. But before we get to the program, just a few quick thank yous. A quick privacy statement. We are recording this and streaming it on YouTube Live. So we are doing that so that we can share it after the event and so that people can watch the event again. I'm going to go through this really quickly so we can try to catch up on some time. Tonight's agendas, again, thank yous, a little bit about Project Hearing, a little bit about Deaf Awareness Month, and then we'll get right into the program. Quick thank you to all of our annual partners that make everything possible. They allow us to do the work that we do and really are part of our tech community. Everybody from Xander to CUNY to Google, Grasshopper Bank, Verizon, all wonderful providers, Nation Builder, doing amazing work within the community. I encourage you to check them out. And then if you are planning a tech event, we encourage you to submit that event at nytech.org/events. It's a free service that we provide to list your tech events, and then we send them out into our newsletters on a weekly basis. If you have an Ask and Offer for the community, this is also a service that we provide. Go ahead and go to our website /ask_offers, and you can list your Ask and Offer there. And then if you haven't been to a New York Tech Meetup before, there's one thing that sets us apart from other meetups, pitch events, things of that nature. And that's, there's one question that we don't allow to ask during the Q&A, and that's, what's your business model? Not that it's a bad question, just that we really focus on the technology itself. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mariella. And Mariella, take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. Can everyone see me? Can I get some confirmation? Okay, I am going to assume that is a yes and everyone can see me. Thank you, Andy. So hi, everyone. My name is Mariella Paulino, and I am the founder of Project Hearing. Let me just go ahead and very quickly share my slideshow. I'm going to go through these very, very quickly because our very first presenter has another commitment, and I want to make sure that all of you can hear what he has to say. So my name is Mariella Paulino, and I am the founder of Project Hearing. I run Project Hearing as a way of talking about my hearing disability, tools, technologies, really amazing people that I'm meeting along this journey. If you want to learn more, check it out at projecthearing.com. I am going to be sharing all of these wonderful resources with you, so feel free to follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, my newsletter, and also send me an email if that's your thing. So this month is really, really special for a few things. So September is Deaf Awareness Month. So exciting. It's the month that we celebrate deafness, that we celebrate accessibility around hearing disabilities. And it's an even more special year because this year, the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, turns just 30 years old. That is younger than most people I know. But just 30 years ago, people with disabilities in this country were granted rights under the very first law that prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities. It's been an amazing year, and we're seeing this push for accessibility and inclusion around disability. Very, very exciting. So for tonight's program, we are going to be joined by some incredible organizations: Amazon, Descript, Cappoint, Sonicolor, Sciotech, and Google. So we have an amazing, amazing program for all of you. Everything that you're seeing, the background, the technology is being powered by Georgie, who runs an organization called Get Shit Done. And this is a program of the New York Tech Alliance. As Andy mentioned earlier, it is the largest tech meetup in the world. Oh my God. And we're finally talking about accessibility, assistive technology, inclusion. Such an exciting time. So some ground rules is use the chat function in YouTube Live if you have a question. I will be mentioning it through the presentation. So just make sure that you use that. Any questions that come up, going there and include that. We're going to be doing the Q&A after the presentations. Second rule, keep it respectful. So make sure that you are conscious that your experiences may not be someone else's experience. We all have different experiences. We all live in different bubbles. So keep it respectful. Then foster an accessible and inclusive space. We're going to be talking about a lot of different topics around inclusion and all the different technologies that exist to make this space accessible. Take that, foster that, take it with you. And then finally, we've put so much thought into the next hour and 15 minutes that we have with you. So much thought and time and dedication. So we hope that you'll take some time, be present, capture what we are sharing with you, and again, take it with you. So without going further, Google Meet and YouTube Live. So there is going to be a slight delay. So Google Meet, which is the tool that you are seeing that is providing closed captioning at the bottom, that technology is not yet available on most platforms. So what we are doing is we are using Google Meet and then streaming that over multiple platforms, including YouTube Live, which is what you are all seeing. So there may be a short delay between the time we have the YouTube and the Google Live caption. So make sure that you type in your question in the chat on the right-hand corner, and just be aware that there's a quick delay that happens. With all that said, I'm going to just go ahead and hand over the presentation to our very first presenter. David, I know you're going to have to go, but if you just go ahead and take it over from here, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I don't know if my video is going to be put centered here, but my name is David Frericks. I'm a solutions engineer at Amazon, and specifically, I am part of the Alexa for Everyone team. And our responsibility in Alexa for Everyone is to make sure that just that Alexa is available to everyone, and that she is effectively able to take care of people's needs regardless of the way that they would want to interact with her. And one of the things that may be helpful to get a little bit of a background is to kind of share my perspective that I bring to the table here. I've been working in technology for quite a while. I have a background in virtual reality, internet radio, mobile music, as well as doing voice agents. But throughout all of that work, my theme has been singular. And that theme has been that we want to have the machine adapt to the needs of the person. It's too often that when we produce a product, we actually get very excited about the technology and we implement it. We're like, oh yes, everyone's going to love this. And instead, what is a better way to think about it is to start with the actual end person who's using it, the customer, the person who you want to serve. Start with that person, start with how they would want to and need to interact with your product, and work backwards from there. And that's the kind of philosophy that we bring to the table inside of Alexa for Everyone, in that we really try to take into account the needs of people with different abilities, whether they are blind or low vision, or whether they're deaf or hard of hearing, whether they have mobility challenges, speech challenges. It really runs the gamut of different things that people are challenged by. But it all comes down to really focusing on the way that that person would want to interact with Alexa, and then working backwards from there and seeing how we can make it a really, not only a useful experience, but actually an enjoyable experience. And specifically, we have the 30th anniversary of the ADA, which is very exciting. We're doing a lot of work with that. And one of the things that we've done is we have produced a summary of all of the ways that Alexa can serve people with regards to if they have accessibility needs. And so if you go to amazon.com/Alexa accessibility, you'll be able to see all of the different ways we serve the different constituencies that I mentioned before. But as we're talking about, and Mariella mentioned, today we're focused on the needs of deaf and hard of hearing, celebrating Deaf Awareness Month. And I think that what I'd like to do is kind of give you an overview of the features that we've put into Alexa, particularly taking advantage of the products that we have that have display screens. Many of you might be aware of the fact that we have a product line called Echo, and that product line has been most well known for what you would call a headless product. That is to say, a product that has no screen nor any kind of touch interaction. It's all voice interaction. But in addition to that, we also have a line of products called Echo Show. And Echo Show, those products all have screens, touch enabled, so that not only can you use speech to interact with Alexa and then hear the response, but also you can use touch and you can have a visual response, which is very, very important, as one could imagine, if you want to serve the needs of deaf and hard of hearing community. And so we have actually taken advantage of this screen environment to be able to put together some really interesting features. One of which is, of course, we have captioning that's available, baseline kind of a minimum entry threshold capability, not only though for video content, but even for Alexa itself. So whenever you interact with Alexa, you can turn on the captioning and you can actually see the responses in text as opposed to only being able to hear the response. We have, for people who are hard of hearing, the ability to change the speaking rate of Alexa so that you can actually go ahead and make it so that she'll speak slower or faster and things like this. But even beyond that, there is also the need to be able to allow people to interact with Alexa when it comes to touch. And so that's one of the features I'd like to show you here today. It's a feature called Tap to Alexa. And it's a capability that allows you to both have pre-programmed interactions with Alexa, as well as be able to use text input right on your Echo Show to be able to interact with her however you would so choose. And by the way, that's kind of an explanation of why I'm here in my kitchen, because Mariella so compellingly convinced me that actually showing you the product would be better than just talking about it. And so here I am in my kitchen. So sorry for the informal format, but hopefully it's going to be something that will be interesting and helpful. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to flip the camera around. And let's see here. So hopefully you can see this is actually a very old first generation Echo Show, But the cool thing about that is that all the way from the beginning forward, all Echo shows have this capability. You'll notice that it has the screen, and the screen is touch enabled. But you'll also notice this little icon right here. It's a little touch icon. That is what turns on the tap to Alexa. So whenever, oh, never mind. See, she's listening to me. So whenever I touch this, it'll bring up the actual tap screen itself. This is kind of the, oops. Okay, now I'm doing a bad demo here. There we go. Sorry, I wasn't touching it firmly enough. So what you see here, you touch the touch that icon, and it brings up a menu that has a number of options that allow you to interact with A. Sorry, I'll call her A, because if I call her by her name, she'll wake up here instantly. It allows you to interact with A simply by touch. So you see here, I have a weather. I could touch the weather icon, and it goes ahead.
In Frisco, it's 65 degrees Fahrenheit with partly sunny
So you can see where both it has the caption
Today,
here and it displays the information.
with a high of
Both of those
69
come into
degrees and
play.
a low of 41 degrees.
So I can go back to my menu by touching that again. And I can go ahead and, for example, if I want to get a sports update, or I want to get a joke or something like that, I just go ahead and tap it.
Why did you're across the road? To get to the other side.
Oh man, that's really bad. It's a typical Alexa joke. But anyway, you can see how it works. Never mind. You see how it works just through this kind of a touch interface. And the cool thing about it is that not only are you able to go ahead and do those, this is really hard to do when you're holding onto the phone and you're trying to do the same thing. Not only can you use these pre-programmed ones, but you can also open up and have a keyboard. And through this keyboard mechanism, you can actually type any query you would want, and it would actually interact with the agent as if you had spoken it. So that is a very quick demo. I know we're running low on time, and I'm hoping that that gave you a quick idea of what it is that we can, how we can serve the needs of deaf and hard of hearing folks. And specifically, I will remind you at this point that there's videos and all sorts of deeper information about what I just talked about at amazon.com/Alexa accessibility. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and share with you, at least very quickly, some of the things that we've been working on. We have more stuff coming out all the time, so please pay attention to that accessibility hub, and you'll be able to see some of the great stuff we're working on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. I know you have to run, but thank you so much for that amazing, amazing presentation.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye-bye. So our next presenter is going to be Joel. So by the way, if you have any questions, make sure that you are dropping them in the YouTube on the lower right-hand corner. There should be a functionality for you to drop your questions. So what I am going to be doing with Joel, are you ready to come up whenever you are? So I am going to be showing you how to make a closed caption video. So what we are going to be doing is I am going to be recording a video, a quick 1-minute video of myself, and I'm going to be sending that over to Joel. So I have my camera here, and the video is this. Hello, everyone. My name is Mariella Paulino, and I am the founder of Project Hearing. Today, we have an incredible lineup of speakers, and I want to show you some really great technology you can use to make your content more inclusive. We are going to be joined by Joel as our first, actually, second presenter, and he will be demoing Descript, one of my favorite applications that uses Google API technology to convert the spoken word into readable language. After him, we will be joined by Robert, who will show us how to take that video and transcript file and burn them together to make this video open caption. Let's get started. So that was my video. And what I am going to do now is I am going to use this platform called WeTransfer. On WeTransfer, you can send videos up to 2 gigabytes over the internet. So I'm going to go on WeTransfer, add my file, add my video, and I'm going to send it directly to Joel. Hi is my message. I'm going to send it in an email to joel@descript.com. And I'm going to send it, and it is transcribed. So, Joel, while that transfer, do you want to just come over and just talk very briefly about what Descript is, and then just get started on your presentation?
Yes, thank you, Mariella. Thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to be here. I'm excited to do this. So Descript, as Mariella mentioned, is a new way to edit audio and text. And so, or audio and video, excuse me. And so the way that it works is, let me share my screen real quickly. So the way that Descript works is, here is our app, and you can just see the app right here. And so this is kind of your home base. So I'm operating in my drive, which is where all of my files live. And if I create a new project, I'm going to create it. I'm going to name it #NYTM-Prezo. And it's going to be created in Joel's drive. And so here you can see right here that it's opened up, and this is just a blank composition. There's nothing in this yet because we haven't brought anything in. But what I can do is I can just choose a file right here, and it'll open up this this file, and I can. There's a problem right there. Okay. Let me try this one more time. So what I can do is I can just pull in that video file that Mariella just created for me, and I'll be able to edit it and transcribe it right inside Descript and add captioning to it and create subtitles for it. So we're having just a problem really quick, but hang on one second, bear with me. So I'll pull it in. There we go. And I can drag and drop it in. And so you can see right here, this window pops up and it says to transcribe one file. You can detect speakers if there's multiple speakers in this project, in this file, but I know Mariella just created it. There's only the one speaker. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click transcribe. And once I've done that, Descript has AI technology to be able to transcribe this file and be able to create a transcription that matches all of the audio, and you're able to edit the file directly from the transcript. And so while we wait for that to happen, let me just show you a couple things around the app. So number one, I can come up here to this media library on the left. Over here on the left is how you can navigate your projects. So here in the media library, I can see where if I had different files that I was working from, I can see them all sitting right here. And then here on the compositions tab, you can see I could have different compositions within the same project. And then over here, this magnifying glass is the search function, which we're going to use in a minute. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this composition so that it's something that means a little bit more to me. Then I'm going to attach a speaker label to this. I know this is Mariella, so I'm going to add her in. And you see down here at the bottom, all of the waveform just changed color to match the color of Mariella's name. So then what I can do is I can edit the transcript in two ways. Number one, I can select and I can delete, just like in any audio editing platform. That's always available, and that functionality is always there. The other thing that you can do within Descript is you can come in and you can actually edit this transcript directly from, or you can edit the media directly from the transcript. And so when Mariella says the word right there, I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to hit the delete key. And you can see it, well, there was multiple, but you can see it actually is removed directly from the transcript. And so if we see this again, delete, and now it's gone from the transcript. So the other thing that we can see is a couple places in here, we have a couple of issues with the actual transcript itself. So we're going to select edit media and then come down here to correct text. And so now what we're doing is we can edit the transcription without editing the media. So the media will stay the same. So just right here, I can tell that that's not quite how you spell my name. And so right there, And then we can see, let's listen to this right here. And so we can, oh, that's not quite where we want to listen to. We want to listen from here. Okay, and so right here it says, actually, we are going to be joined. And so I can edit that, and it says we are going to be joined by Joel as our first, actually second presenter. And so one thing that we can do is here, where we say first, actually second presenter, we don't need it to say that. We can just cut that out so that it just says second presenter. And so we do that by selecting that, and then we can hit the delete key. Another way that we can edit that is by clicking this word tab above the waveform right here, and just clicking it and dragging it to the left. And that moves the media. And you can see right here now, it is reflected in the transcript as well. So it says we are going to be joined by Joel as our second presenter. And then we can come down here and we can see, again, we need to edit the transcript a little bit. And we can edit right here. It's Descript. And then here it says the Google API instead of cool. There we go. And so now we can listen to right here. We can make this video bigger so that we can see it easier. And we can watch through this where we took out a little bit, and we'll see a little bit of a jump cut there when we listen to it. So okay, so it's actually not playing right now. I'm not sure why that is. So we'll just show a different feature. So we can come over here in the project, the magnifying glass that I referenced earlier. So we can come over here and we can search a couple of different things. We can search text. We also can search word gaps. So you can search for lengths of silence within your project. And then you can search for filler words. And so all of these can be very valuable ways to navigate your project and to be able to pull some different things out. So you can see filler words here on a Pro plan, on a Descript Pro plan, you're able to see all of these different filler words. So it can detect but, you know what I mean, I mean, well, so, right, etc., and all of those other ones, which is really helpful when you're editing a long transcript and a longer video where there are a lot more filler words and that sort of thing. The other features that are cool in Descript is Descript is a collaborative platform. So here we can click up in this share button in the top right, and we can come back and we can share it with a different user of Descript. So I'm going to share it with Robert, who will be presenting with Kapwing right after me. And you just type in their email, can edit, and click send. And there, Robert should get an email where he will be able to access this project. And then right here, we're able to do a couple of more things within Descript to be able to work collaboratively and communicate with Robert. So one of those things is we can add markers. And so this is going to be, so this is where Mariella introduces Descript. And so this is maybe important for Robert to see. And so I can put it in right there so that he doesn't have to read through this and it just jumps right out at him very easily. I like it because it's larger and it's bold and it's easy to see. The other way that you can do that is you can add this note in a little bit of a less obtrusive way if that's what you're looking for. So you can come down here and select an inline note. You can just say the same exact thing, but in a smaller note, which still is not audio. It still will not be played, but it still shows up for Robert to be able to see. And then the third way that you can communicate with someone else on the project is you can select and you can actually add a comment. And so if we look at this comment box right here, I can say @Robert, or I can just say intro. And then you can post. You can @mention people in comments. You can reply. You can archive them and check them off. There's a lot of different ways that you can be communicating through this. And so with that, we're able to have this project pretty well ready to throw captions on this video and pretty well ready to move on. And so we'll come up here and we'll click the share button and we'll actually export this. And so you can publish it, which has some cool functionality. For the sake of time, we're not really going to look at that right now. We're just going to focus on export. So if we're going to keep working with this project, you can export it to Samplitude, Final Cut Pro, Logic, etc. All of these different functions, and you can export them in the correct file format. You also can export the video just right here. You can edit some of these if you want to. For the sake of this demo, we don't need to. And then you can just click export and then save it as that, and it will begin exporting. The other thing that you can do, which is really valuable within Descript, is you can export through the same way the subtitles directly. And so you can edit how many characters per line. You can edit how many lines per card. You can change all of those things. You also can include speaker names in subtitle text. So if this is a project where you need speaker names with the captions, Descript can do that really easily through their speaker label functions. For this, we're not going to include those because it's just Mariella, and I don't think that's necessary. And then we can export this, and you can see save it again, and right away, subtitle export completed, and there we go. We could open it and we could see it. And so that's the way that you can just use Descript to take a raw video file and add some subtitles to it and be able to take it to a completed project. So with that, back to you, Mariella.
I love it. Thank you so much for that, Joel. You were amazing. So when I first learned of Descript, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. I've been looking for this my whole life. And then I found this other tool, this second tool, because Descript is able to use the API technology. And then I came across this other tool called Kapwing. And Kapwing, what it's able to do is to take that file and then burn it directly into my video. So Robert, are you ready to come up and show you how that magic is done with Kapwing?
I'm all ready.
All right, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much, Mariella. And thank you to everybody from the New York Tech Alliance for inviting us here today. We're super excited to share Kapwing with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and present my screen here. So if you guys can see that there, Kapwing is a totally free and fully online image, GIF, and video editor. So what we're trying to do here is really give creators a platform that they can use without any sophisticated hardware or sophisticated software. They can just come right to our website, click Get Started, and start making video content that will look great on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and beyond. So we are a fully online and free video editor. And I'm going to show you today how we can use our platform to take those incredible captions from Descript and publish them right on top of the video that Mariella created, making a nice fully captioned video to share on social. So I'll click Get Started here. I'm just in our main tool, which is Kapwing Studio. And this is a general workspace full of different content creation tools that you can use. And it gets more powerful every week. So I'm here in our general studio here. I've actually exported the video that Joel shared with me out of Descript. So I can just drag that right into Kapwing from my desktop. And you'll see it populate there. And over here on the right, it is now uploading. So you get a kind of percentage there to watch as it uploads. So I'll retitle my project to NYTM demo. And let's get started on this thing. So I think what I want to make right now is a post that's going to look really good on Instagram. But this video isn't exactly the right size for Instagram. So the two main things we want to achieve here are getting this video into the perfect shape and format for Instagram, and also adding those captions in from Descript. So over here on the right side of the screen, you might see the output size. Here I can start to adjust what our canvas actually looks like. I can do 9:16 for a vertical video. That would look great on a place like TikTok or Instagram TV, or I can just go 1:1 for this classic square. So this video was shot in widescreen format, so I'm actually going to preserve that aspect ratio and pop it down right in the middle of my screen here. So this is now actually setting us up for what could be a really nice post. I can put a title right across the top there in this white space to give the viewer an idea of what they are going to see in this video. And then I've got a perfect area down here to put my captions into. So let's start getting a little more aesthetic with it. I will change my background color to something that's kind of nice to look at. And I will throw a title right up here. So I think she said something in this clip about how to add captions to any video. So we can just say how to add captions to any video. And I will put that big across the top here so that anyone scrolling through Instagram will see that right away and know what to expect from our video. So now I'm going to go into our subtitles button right up here on this top tab. And I'm going to add those subtitles that we just made in Descript. So you have a couple of options inside of Kapwing here. You can actually come in and time out the subtitles yourself. I could watch back this video and I could type in like, hello, my name is, and just do it manually that way. But if you already have an SRT file from a powerful tool like Descript, we can just upload the SRT file in and call it a day. Everything's going to be timed out and perfect for us. So I'm going to click Upload SRT file here, and I'm going to go to my demo folder and click that file. And here you'll see those subtitles come right in. Let's see how they look.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariella Paulino, and I am the founder of Project Hearing.
Okay, so the subtitles are in our project. They're all ready to go. If I notice like an error in there, I can also make adjustments. She said my name is Mariella, not Mariana. So I can actually fix that right inside of Kapwing here. And she said I'm the founder of Project Hearing. So I can fix that right there. I can move it to one line so it looks a little nicer, and so on and so forth. So we have all of our subtitles in place here. And, in some regards, I could just say this video is done. I could click export and get it ready for posting. But while we're here and while we have the time, we might as well make this thing a little more aesthetically pleasing. So I'm going to come in, and Kapwing gives you so many options for how you want your video to look. If you can imagine how the post is going to look in your head, you can probably bring it to life here in Kapwing. So I'm going to start by changing the styling of my captions. I want them to match what I've done with my title here. So you saw they had this sort of wrap style before. Now I'm going to give them a nice outline. I can also start playing around with the fonts. We have hundreds of fonts that you can use for free inside of Kapwing. I love this actor font. It always looks really nice. And then, I can start cleaning up my captions a bit. I see some of them came out on 2 lines here, but they don't necessarily need to be split that way. So I can start fixing how this actually looks. I'll just kind of go line by line here, making some quick edits. And let's see, how does that look?
And my name is Mariella Paulino, and I am the founder of Project Hearing. Today, we have an incredible lineup of speakers, and I want to show you some
So I'm really happy with how this video looks. And as you were able to see there, I threw the whole thing together with the captions, the adjusting of where the video laid in the canvas, and this title, all within a couple of minutes. So you can imagine as you start to spend more time inside of Kapwing exploring the different features that are available, you can create some really incredible looking content. This is something that I made very quickly, but we have a lot of tools here that enable all types of creation. You can add your own audio. You could add a song on top of the video. You can actually go into our timeline view and start to edit with more precision like you would in a more legacy editor like iMovie. You can also search for images right inside of Kapwing and pull images. So I could look for maybe like a closed captions logo. And if I wanted to pull that in, I could just pull that right into my project and put it somewhere that it looks nice. So I'm happy with how this video has turned out. So I'm just going to go ahead and click this big red export video button up here. Once that happens, you'll be taken to this screen where you'll start to see some code flow across the screen. This is kind of like a window into the back end of Kapwing. You can see exactly how far along your video is in the processing. And you're going to see piece by piece as our code spits out the video that you put together. So one thing that I really love about Kapwing that I always love to brag about in our editor is that once I'm in this screen, I can go and do anything else. I could shut down my computer if I wanted to. And Kapwing is going to, through our cloud servers, continue processing that video for you. So say I need to go over and check on my Facebook group where I'm making content today. I can do that and my video is going to continue processing without any issue. So this usually only takes a few minutes. It does depend on the length of your project. If you're editing like a 30-minute video, you can expect a longer processing time than just a 1-minute clip.
Hello, everyone.
As you can see there, this clip of Mariella is actually already done and ready to go. So I have a few options right over here. I can preview the video.
More inclusive.
Make sure I'm happy with how it turned out. Then I could just download it straight to my device right here. And Kapwing does work inside of mobile phone browsers, tablets. You can run it on a Chromebook. So you don't need any sort of sophisticated hardware to use our editing platform. It's available to just about everyone on any device. You also have your standard share buttons right here to just send this link straight up to social media. Another thing that's really cool about Kapwing is if I want to copy the URL to this final video page, I could copy that, send it to a friend, and then they will come to this same page. They can click edit, and they will be taken into a fresh copy of this video that they can work on themselves. So we like to kind of fancy ourselves as a fully collaborative editing platform, similar to maybe like a Google Drive for video. So if you have colleagues or friends or creative partners that you like to work on videos with, Kapwing is a perfect solution for you to all have your input and be able to work on things together. So that's kind of it for the main demo here, but there is a couple other things I wanted to quickly plug. So if you liked what you saw today, we are actually hiring for several roles at Kapwing right now. We have a lot of engineering positions open, full stack software engineer, quality assurance lead, product designer, product manager, and content writer roles. So we're really happy that we're continuing to grow out our team as we build this product together. We really want to enable all kinds of creators, no matter where they're coming from, how much experience they have, to be able to come online with us and create amazing content that they're really proud of and that they can share just about anywhere. So thank you so much, Mariella. I will send it back to you, and I will forward this video on for you to do whatever you want with.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert. That was an amazing presentation. So I'll be sharing that video that Robert made on Instagram. So we are running just a little bit over time. So I want our next presenters to be mindful. So our next presenter is going to be Brian from Sonic Alert. Brian, are you and your team ready?
We are. Thank you very much, Mariella. First off, I'm Brian Bartnik, the president of Sonic Alert, and it's a pleasure being with you this evening. I want to start off by telling you a little bit about the history of Sonic Alert. 50 years ago plus, our owner, Adam Collin, who was a 17-year-old high school student, developed the first smart home device. And what I mean by that is he had a grandmother that was starting to lose her hearing. And as he would take a bike ride that took him 30, 45 minutes each way, he started realizing that he would be at the house, he would know she was home, he would see her in the house, he would knock on the door, he would ring the doorbell, and she wouldn't respond. So he would be so disappointed after an hour or so bike ride that he wasn't able to see his grandmother. And he also knew that she was disappointed because she was, number one, lonely, and she was depressed. He then started calling beforehand and realizing that she was not answering the phone either. So as a 17-year-old high school student, a little bit of a mad scientist, he developed a product which was the first smart home device. And how he did that is he took a product and through the electrical lines of the house, he was able to connect flashing lights that were strung along the walls of her house. And they would literally have different patterns. So if the doorbell rang or the phone rang, she would see which device was activated and she would be able to react to that, which was phenomenal for a 17-year-old. Well, once he graduated from high school and then graduated from the University of Michigan, his family really convinced him to go into building a product or building a company that would help those with disabilities. And 42 years ago, Sonic Alert was developed and it was created and started as a company. What's amazing about that is 42 years later, we're still a thriving company with a great reputation and we sell in over 30 countries around the world. We develop, design, and market products like amplified phones, specialized alarm clocks. We have listening devices, and we also have home alerting devices. To talk about one device that we really like, it's our Homeware home alerting device. This is an amazing product and really the only product like it in the world. It has a main unit, which you'll see in a little bit, that has a 2-inch scrolling display that will tell you what alert is going off in the house. It'll alert you things like the doorbell, the phone ringing, even a smartphone with a scrolling display of the caller ID. Along with that, it will alert you to the smoke or CO detector going off, a motion detector, or other type devices. And to show you a quick caption of what that looks like, we have a 2-minute video that I'd like you to look at. And I believe Georgie or somebody's going to initiate that for us. And after that is viewed, I'll describe a little bit what took place in the video. Can you please start the video? I believe.
Sorry, Laura, Georgie, Christina, do you guys have the video?
Okay.
Woo!
Well, once that goes on, I'll be able to describe what you saw there, and then we're going to go a little further than that, show some additional features.
HomeAware, a unique total home alerting solution from Sonic Alert, offers peace of mind, security, safety, convenience, and greater independence. HomeAware can be configured to match the needs of your household with many available packages and convenient features. Many standard features are included, like dual alarms with 105 decibel volume, and a vibrating alarm, also known as the bed shaker, for an extra wake or the ability to wake without disturbing others. And there are many more, all with a choice of receivers with a 2-inch scrolling display and bright strobe. HomeAware is totally configurable. Basic and deluxe receivers can be combined and communicate uninterrupted up to 1,000 feet, connecting you to your surroundings with continuous monitoring of transmitters for doorbell, baby cry and other noises, smoke and carbon monoxide, motion sensors, smartphones, alerting you to text messages, emails, and phone calls, even acting as a receiver to alert you to what's happening on the main unit and other connected receivers. And our colorful and convenient portable strobe alert, Blink. With HomeAware, all of these safety and security features are continuously monitored to ensure your peace of mind and comfort. HomeAware. Stay connected.
Well, as you could see in the video, the HomeAware is a total home solution and really can alert you to many things. As we saw, it was the doorbell, the phone ringing, the motion sensors, smoke CO, and a lot of other things that were activated. But I also want to show you some things live. We're going to do a live presentation. We're going to have the HomeAware alerted to 2 different alerts, and you'll see some of the activity that takes place, and I'll describe that in a moment. Will you please go forward with the presentation? All right, as you could see in the presentation, Christine, demonstrated that the home alert, or HomeAware, I should say, was alerted by two different events in the house. Number one, it picked up the doorbell, and number two, it picked up the smoke detector going off. As you also saw, a number of devices activated, and these devices, of course, wouldn't be cluttered together, but they'd be throughout the house. And the first thing was the HomeAware main unit that had the scrolling display that recognized what alert it was. And you were seeing a strobe, very bright strobe. You were seeing the scrolling display. It was giving 105 decibel sound. And then you had the shaker attached to it. The shaker is great, either on a hard surface like we have it today, or as you saw in the video, it could be under your bed. So if you were deaf or you were hard of hearing, it's going to wake you whenever something goes off. Beyond the main unit, it also had an internal smoke CO detector that would pick up a T3 or T4 sound for either a smoke detector or a CO detector, and that will alert the main unit. We also had a basic receiver in that presentation that would be in another room, and that would give you a alert through a signal and a sound. Beyond that, we had two other devices. One is called the Blink, and that was a device we just came out with in the last year that is driven by different colors. We were always asked to create a product that was color-coded by alert, and that is the Blink. Beyond that, you guys are the first to see a product we're going to be introducing in the next 30 to 60 days, and that's the Homeware Vibe. And that's a portable vibrator or pager, if you will. It alerts you to all types of alerts as you've seen during this presentation, but it does in a matter that it's portable. So you could click it to your belt, you could put it in your pocket, and the reality is you could carry it around as well. But it's going to not only have multiple LEC colored lights that will flash for the different patterns, it will also have vibration patterns, and along with that, it will have audio, so it'll alert you to that as well. Now, with that said, what is the future of Sonic Alert? We've got all these great products. Well, the reality is, in the world today, the elderly population is growing rapidly. And that's not only in the United States, that's also outside the United States. So we have all these products to help the deaf, the hard of hearing, the hard to wake, and the elderly. But we also look at what the future will look like, and we're literally working on products that are in development today, and one of those is the Homeware 2 that will take it to a next level. It'll take what you saw today as the total home alerting solution, and be able to allow for dual communication, but visual dual communication through tablets and other devices like that, which will be pretty exciting because a caregiver or a family member could actually have a conversation via a tablet and be able to see each other to make sure the person at home is in good spirits and good shape, but also the person at home will have the ability to see the caregiver or the family member and feel like they're not so isolated. Beyond that, we're looking to have those alerts that are somewhat constrained in the home today to be able to go outside the home. And those alerts will be picked up by other devices such as tablets, laptops, smartphones. So a caregiver or a family member could be outside the home and literally understand that something happened within that home. Going back to the Homeware Vibe, the pager we talked about, one of the important things is it also has a emergency alert or panic button on it. So if you have that and you're walking around and you're trying to, you have an issue come up, say you've fallen or some other thing has occurred, you press that button and all the other receivers and all the other signalers will show that an alert's going off. So if somebody's in the house and they see that, they'll know that the person needs immediate assistance. you know, it's funny because we're now into this 42 years, and for the first time, we're really looking to get some assistance from other outside technology companies. Technology is growing so rapidly, and we've got great ideas, but we also know by partnering with people that we may be able to get those technologies out sooner than later. And it's just a great opportunity for anybody that wants to partner with a company that's been around for 42 years, does business in 30 countries, and has a tremendous reputation. Well, I'm done with my presentation, and I look forward to answering any questions afterwards.
Mic drop. Love that, Brian. I hope that we can possibly introduce you to a few new people so that you can continue to grow Sonic Alert. Really, really impressive what you guys are doing and creating and developing and just really growing. So, anything else you want to say?
No, but thank you very much for the opportunity. We really enjoy this. And like I said, I know you're aware of our products. We've been around for a long time, and there's a lot of things that we developed to really try to help people out.
Absolutely. I think I learned about your products back in high school. My mom just got fed up with trying to wake me up. She was like, I'm not doing this anymore. You're either going to get an alarm clock and have to be responsible and wake up on time, or you're getting detention. I don't care anymore. And that is what one of the things that actually forced me to really take ownership of waking up on time. So thank you so much for that product. So Brian, I'll have you come back up in a minute for our next presenter. We are going to have Siotag. So Siotag, you guys are ready to come up?
Yes, we are. We're all set.
All right, so let's turn on those cameras.
Hey,
yeah.
Is that
All
it?
right, Jeffrey, the floor is yours. You ready?
Fabulous. Yes. Let me share my screen.
Okay. So the share screen button is on the lower right-hand corner. Is the furthermost right button where it says present now. There you go.
How's that? Can you see my my screen?
Yes.
Good, good. Thanks for having us. It's a privilege to be here. Very impressed with what Brian was speaking about. His company been around 35 years or so. Happy to say that Siotag is 11 months old. We came together last October, and so this October will be our 1-year anniversary. And the inspiration for our product was sessions like this, meetups, and actually that's where we got our start, working with guys like Andy Saldana and Lauren over at Disruptive Technologies, that we love the long format videos that were recorded on it, but we just needed a set of tools to make them searchable and navigable, because you just couldn't sit there and watch an hour and a half long video. So we created Siotag, which is the world's first artificial intelligence powered video player. So what it does is that it takes any video on the internet, like a YouTube video, Facebook, LinkedIn, or anything like that, and first thing it does is it automatically creates a transcript of it, and then once the transcript is done, it automatically creates an actionable table of contents, which means, if you can imagine, you wouldn't buy a $200 textbook that didn't have a table of contents. Why would you watch an hour and a half long video without table content? It's just really, really difficult to do it, because you wind up not being able to find the stuff that you're interested in, and spending way too much time watching stuff that you're not interested in at all. So that's what we do. We're a software as a service, a subscription. So you just sign up at our website, and we have a very special promotion for anybody associated with New York Tech Alliance, which I guess you'll cover that later, Marielle.
We'll take care of that, Jeff, through in the letter.
Good. no problem. So if you look at the current state of the video, this is a 2-hour video here. There's no table of contents. You don't really understand where things are. You don't understand who's speaking. You don't understand what he's speaking about. If you wanted to search on it, you had to move that little radio head thing across, and sometimes you go too far, you don't go far enough. It's really, really difficult. The same video, when it uses Zeotag, it has over here on the right, it has a full transcript, full searchable transcript. So you can say, tell me when they're talking about a particular topic, things like that. And then with that, it has a table of contents that we use artificial intelligence to take the transcript, decide who's speaking, and then what topics are they speaking about, and then go ahead, put those into a series of table of contents, and then add some chapters to it so that you can see the topics and go right to that moment in time. And of course, all of this is works with social media. So if this happens to be a 2-hour video, if you're at an hour and 10 minutes, you can say, this is a really interesting topic that they're speaking about. You can just click on it, you can post it on social media, and then it'll take you to that moment in time in the video and say, this is interesting what he's talking about that. And it's very useful. Now, what's interesting about it is that you can geotag your own videos, or you can geotag any video on the internet that you find interesting. So say you see something interesting from Stanford University, an hour-and-a-half course class or speech that you were interested in, you can go ahead with your own Zeotag account, input the URL of the YouTube video, or whatever the format has to be, hit transcript. It generates the transcript for you. And once that's done, you can say, okay, create the table of contents, and then it'll go through, it'll create the table of contents, and then you can say, okay, I want to play it. And then you can play it from our website. You can embed it within your blog. You can send it to a friend. So it's a really new way of watching long format videos around that. I have some examples here. Here's a gentleman. This is a 52-minute long video about a gentleman out of New Zealand who specializes in podcasting. And he coaches people on how to do podcasts. His clients generate 1 million downloads of podcasts a month. So, but you wouldn't know that from this YouTube video. So we took this YouTube video, and here it is on Zeotag. You can see over here is the transcript. Let me get over there. You can search on the transcript. It's all timestamped to it. So you can say, oh, this is kind of interesting. So you can use this as to assist you. If you're hearing impaired, you can, but you're interested in what's in the video, you can Zeotag it, go along with the transcript to find it, or search on the transcript and say, tell me about when they're talking about podcasts. Do that now. And here it is, the entire with the 52 minutes. And then you can go over to the Zeotag, which is the table of contents. You can play it, and as you see, as it plays along, it opens up, and you see the topics. So you can go right to the topic you're interested in. If you say, I'm really interested in how to use this to add to your marketing funnel, click over here, and then it'll take you into a whole slew of different social media things. You can tweet it, you can Facebook it, you can LinkedIn it, you can just email it to them, and then they can see it that way. So you can, all of this information that's included in the table of contents and the transcript are exposed to internal search engines if you're working at a school or a library or a company. You can do it. And if you wanted to expose it to Google, you can expose it to Google as well. So as people are looking for content and they're searching on Google, they can find your video, they can find the moment in time in the video, and then they can play it. So it's a very simple product to use. It's a really fun product to use. And I would encourage you to come to our website, sign up for our free account, and love to get your feedback. And from there, I'll kick it back to you, Marielle.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Jeffrey.
Sure, my privilege.
All right, so stop sharing your screen and turn off your video, and we're going to go right into our next speaker. Thank you. So our last speaker for today is going to be Dimitri. Before we get started, I just want to highlight how the power behind Google technologies. Earlier, when we did the Google Slides presentation, there is an amazing little feature that you can use in Google Slides. Actually, let me just go ahead and show you very, very quickly. So when you have a Google Slides presentation, all right, you are able, can everybody see my screen? So when you are presenting, there is a button right here at the very bottom that says Add Closed Captioning. So you're able to add closed captioning into your Google Slides presentation. I can imagine how many students out there that are taking online learning could benefit from something like this if, for whatever reason, they are not able to benefit from Google Meet. Google Meet, a second platform that we are using to make this meeting, this workshop, this training accessible. Google Meet provides closed captioning functionality, AI generated, and is an amazing accessibility tool. So I want to introduce you, all of you, to the person that is the visionary that led to the creation of Google Live Transcribe. So Dimitri, come on up. I'm going to need you to turn on your video. There we go, fantastic. So Dimitri is going to be calling me through our third Google tool called Google Duo, and we'll be showcasing a few different pieces of technology. So on Google Duo, you can just call someone on their phone, their tablet, their computer. It's an amazing, amazing video functionality tool. So Dimitri, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Thank you for your kind introduction. Let me state one thing. Because I speak with accent, you need to watch white screen where my speech is transcribed, not this black box where everybody's speech transcribed.
So the very first thing that Dimitri and I are going to do is Dimitri is going to give me a call via Google Duo so that we can show you a few additional tools that are from within Google. So Dimitri, you want to call me via Google? Okay.
Let me call you. Hello, Mariella. I'm calling you via Duo. How are you? My day was very good. Thank you very much. Yes, I present a lot of new technologies. Let me explain first what I made phone call via DUO. I used live caption, but I could make the same call through anything. I could make through standard phone. I could call via Facebook Messenger. So it gives me transcription what a person at another end talk to me. What another person at another end talk to me. Right now, it does not allow to type. But so if somebody calls to another person, he needs to speak. So this can be used by people who do not hear but can speak. But you plan to add typing ability. So if you don't hear and cannot speak, you can type. Now, I want to talk about what this wonderful thing that transcribes my voice. This is not product. This is a research prototype. It's called Aphonia. It allows people who have non-standard speech to speak, and it transcribes them. So I can transcribe people who have ASL, or who have stroke, or who stuttering. And it requires to train. It requires to record a lot of voice data before it can be trained. So if you are interested to this, you can go to some Aphonia link and become testers. And Google will choose some people and allow them to test this Aphonia. But there is also another thing, live transcribe. Live transcribe understand any other speech. So let me ask Mariella to talk something and demonstrate it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariella, and I am talking to the Google Live Transcribe application. I'm good.
So as you could see, I could also use not only Google Meet Caption, I also could use Live Transcribe to transcribe this video. Live Transcribe is product. Downloaded from Google Play. It is available in many Android devices. It's more than 50 million downloads the whole world on many Android phones. 50 million. So I'm corrected myself. I see how Aphonia transcribes me and even improve my pronunciation. I can improve my pronunciation watching how it transcribes my voice. Live transcribe is on the cloud. You can use this via cellular connection or via Wi-Fi. But if you happen to be in situations that you do not have cellular connection, you can use recorder. Recorder is on device. It can transcribe local audio. It can transcribe local audio. Let me play speech audio from my laptop and play a recorder and see how it will transcribe.
The subway without disturbing the people around you. The Android team is going to talk a little bit later today about what made live caption possible. We're also exploring how this technology can caption phone calls, but we want to go one step further and actually allow more people to respond and accomplish tasks over their phones. As you'll see in this example, Nicole, who is deaf and prefers not to speak, can receive a call from our hairstylist. With Smart Compose and Smart Reply, she can answer the call and interact. Let's take a look.
So you just saw a recorder in my phone could transcribe what CEO of Google spoke on a video, and you could compare with Google Meet transcription. So accuracy was very good. Recorder is available only in English and only on high-level Pixel phones. I hope that eventually it will be available in more languages. And now I'll talk about live caption for videos. You already saw that live caption can transcribe phone calls, but it also can transcribe any videos that are running in your phone. So let me find video of the same video from Google and run this. So this is my last example. So you can use live caption for a lot of things, but it's also available only in English for now. So fantastic, so many technologies that develop everything.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us, Dimitri. I think that I am just so excited about all of these amazing technologies. So what I'm going to ask all of our speakers to do is turn on your video just really quickly. Before we go any further, let me just go ahead. And I want to thank each one of you. So we have had some incredible speakers. Our Amazon speaker David had to step out since he had another commitment. But we have Amazon, we have Descript, we have Caption, we have Sonicolor, we have Sciotech, and we have Google. These are all technologies that are changing the game, that are creating accessibility, that are facilitating the inclusion of people like me in the world. So thank you to all of you. Thank you for the work that you are doing. Now, I do have one important question for all of you. And that question is, by the way, if you're watching this at home, on the lower right-hand corner, there is a button on YouTube where you can drop your questions. So the very first question we have for you is, what do you wish more allies and people with disabilities knew about your products and the role they play in facilitating inclusion? Let's make it 1 minute each product. So who wants to go first? What do you wish more allies and people with disabilities knew about your products and the role they play in facilitating inclusion? Jeffrey, you're gonna go first. Go for it.
Sure.
Go for it. Go,
That'd
go.
be great. Well, you know, our products are used to use artificial intelligence to make it easier for people to engage with audio and video, and to take any video, any audio you see on the internet, and be able to do a transcript, to be able to do a table of contents around it, make it useful. And you don't have to be a video editor to use us. Any high school kid can use us. So we would love to have more people try it out, and have some advocates over there to say, wow, this can really unlock some really cool content and educational stuff. So we would very much welcome more people coming to us, and you can reach out to me directly.
Anyone else?
I'll go next. I just look at it and I wish people with disabilities would really enhance technology as a whole, not just Sonic Alert products as a whole. I know so many people, and I have so many family members that may have some hearing loss or may have some other issues going on. They avoid technology because they feel that that's a crutch, or it's going to be showing the rest of the world that they have a disability. And it's unfortunate because the rest of the world may recognize that already, number one. And number two, they're losing out in enhancing their lives on a daily and weekly and monthly basis by using technology. So my only thing is I wish people would accept it more often. And I think if they started to utilize it, they'd realize how great their life could be using technology. And we hope that the Sonic Alert products bring that value to the people with disabilities.
I would like to say that people who hear, they always need to have like Transcribe or other transcription application in their phones. So if they meet a person who do not hear, they could pull out their phone and talk to person who do not hear. Therefore, like Transcribe should not be only in phones of people who do not hear. It should be in people who hear, and they need to be ready to use it at any time, at any place, if they meet person who do not hear and do not understand them.
Yeah, I would say like it's not that challenging anymore to be able to provide things like captions and subtitles on videos. And with a tool like Descript or Kapwing is the same way, or some of these other tools, that like it's able to do that without a lot of strong technical or editing background. And so like with Descript, it creates it for you. You just need to export it and attach it, and that's something that is possible for all videos, and that's something that should be more used, like used more widely, because it's possible even without a strong background, even without tons and tons of resources. You can still add like captions to videos and make them more accessible, and that is easy to make happen.
Yeah, I actually want to piggyback on that a bit. Something I believe in like deeply is that content creation has been so democratized over the last decade. Anyone can start a podcast. Anyone can have a successful YouTube channel, just start recording a video on their phone and go on to make a career out of that. And with that democratization of content creation, there's also a responsibility on the creators to create content that is accessible and that more and more audiences can view and consume and enjoy. And I guess my main message for allies is it's very simple to just start captioning your videos and taking these steps, adding alt text to images on your website, taking these measures to make sure that everyone can enjoy what you're putting out there. And for the community, people with disabilities, I just we're so inspired by you, and I feel like we are able to make a better product with your help, and we just want to keep listening to you and hearing the ways that we can help creators, no matter whether or not they're disabled, to get their message out there. And we're listening and we want to help, so we're always open to that feedback, and no matter how critical it is, we should be hearing it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So I actually want to share with you my t-shirt. The future is accessible, and we are making it happen. So let's continue to make it accessible. Let's make it inclusive. Let's make it real. The future is what we imagine and what we work for to make real. So we have a few questions. I don't think we have enough time to go over them, but we have a question from Alan, and he says, so live caption now works on phone calls, except you can only get live captions on Google devices. And so the question is more, why aren't more devices able to use tools like live caption? Dimitri, I think that's a question for you, because the technology has been around for a while. So how can we make it more accessible to more devices so that it can be more accessible to more people? You are on mute, by the way. You're going to have to unmute yourself.
This is a good question. I wish very much that live caption was available on all devices. At least it's been expanded to more Android devices. And I'm sure that other companies also develop. I don't know what Apple develops, but I'll be surprised very much if it does not develop something for phone calls.
And the next question we have is from Gabby. And Gabby says, do any of these technologies work with Google Home or Hub? So I think that would be a question that would be more Brian. So does your technology work, or does it really sync with Google Home
It does not today, and that's why I was talking about the products we have in early development, that we are looking to expand the capabilities to communicate to other platforms and getting other companies involved. You talk about Google, and you talk about Amazon, and you talk about the others. We really want it to cross-communicate, and we do want the messages or alerts to be sent outside the home. That'll be critical for the future.
And I think we're going to make this our last question of the evening. This is from Alan again. Hi, Alan. So he's asking if I have an idea for Google or Amazon, and I assume all these other amazing technologies that we're talking about today, how can people contact you? Can people contact you? Yes, is that a thumbs up? I'll be reaching out to all of you again to see if maybe we can share your contact information with members of the audience. Like, there's so many great ideas out there. So, Andy, are you there? So, Andy, I think we're pretty much done here. I'm going to pass it on to you so that you can close shop.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we're not quite done. We still have a few announcements to make and thank yous to extend to everybody who helped put this on. What an amazing program it was this evening. Everyone is representing such amazing technologies that are helping such a diverse group of people. And my 2 cents from working in the ecosystem and seeing so many startups all the time is that when you build for others, you build for everyone. And the more that you include others, the better it is for your product overall. So just remember that, remember the people who you are not and build for them. And then quickly, before we get to my announcements, I'm going to ask Georgie Ann Getton to come up on stage. She is behind the scenes, been running all of the back and forth for us, doing a tremendous job with all the technical difficulties and such that we encounter. Georgie, thank you so much. Big round of applause for you. I'm going to turn it over to you. Do you have a slide you'd like to present, or are you just going to speak? I can't hear you, though. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Georgie. And Georgie's being very humble. She is not just a virtual events producer. She is not just behind the scenes. She is a force in the New York tech ecosystem, doing all kinds of stuff. I met her when she was 19 with her first startup that she had started, and to see where she's come today, it's just phenomenal. So I encourage you to check her out, check out our company, and connect with her. She's just a super connector within the ecosystem. Fantastic person to work with. I put up all of the companies. I believe you can see everybody's company up there. I encourage you to take a screenshot of this if you are wanting to get in touch with any of them. Of course, social media is a great way to connect with them. But if you want to reach out specifically, you can always reach out to me directly. My email is, hopefully on the next slide, Okay, well, first of all, we have some great upcoming events coming up. Tuesday, September 29th, we're doing a fantastic event with the Berlin Chamber of Commerce, talking about AI technology and how to build technology across ecosystems. So if you want to learn what's happening in Berlin, hear from some great startups here in New York City, be sure to check us out. September 29th at noon. Wednesday, September 30th, we do a series of events called Founder Spotlights, where we spotlight an amazing founder who's making it work, not just during this time, but all time. Last month, we had Genevieve Ryan Belair from the Real World Playbook. This month, we have Dr. Emily Anhalt from founder of COA. They're always fantastic, very casual, great conversations, and you always leave some great tidbits of information and tips and tricks to how to keep your company going. And then on Tuesday, October 13th, we'll be right back with our next edition of New York Tech Meetup. We're still working out what that theme is going to be, but it definitely will have a pre-election twinge to it. So we'll be highlighting a few companies that are in the democracy area, the voting, get out the vote kind of thing. So be sure to check us out. And then again, this event happens every month, so check us out. And then again, one more thing about what we're doing. We are really, we have been around since 2004. We started as a meetup group in 2004. We became a nonprofit in 2011, and we have seen the New York tech ecosystem blossom and grow year over year. We now, a couple of years ago, I took over as the executive director, and I really had a vision of really shifting the organization to equalizing the playing field here in New York for all of entrepreneurs, with the goal of making the New York tech ecosystem as reflective of the city itself. So please help us do that in that goal, in that mission of creating as much access and equity within the ecosystem. And you can do that by supporting us in 3 different ways. Attend our events and make a small donation when you RSVP. Become an individual supporter. We're building out our supporting memberships. And then always open to small donations. I know Mariella, if you want to support her and the work that she's doing in Project Tyrion, you can do that on her Patreon. It's on our meetup page as well. And we'll be sending out all of the asks and offers from all of our wonderful demoers this evening, and ways to connect with them, all of that information. We'll be sure to go ahead and get that out in our next newsletter, which will be coming out in about a week. But in the meantime, thank you to everyone again for making this event such a tremendous success. And I'm just blown away by seeing all of this amazing technology. I can't wait to get my hands on a lot of it. We're already using Zeotag. I love it to death. Thanks, Jeff. And I can't wait to try out all the other products as well. So in the meantime, I hope you have a great evening. I had my nice little drink here, so I started already. I hope you cheers to everyone as well. And we'll see you in the next meetup. So thank you so much. Have a great night.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.